Hello to my Leo viewers. This is Yasha with SoulsIntersect, and I have your April of 2016 reading. I'd like to let you know that I also made an introductory video, which will tell you a little bit more about myself and what I do. I will paste the link to that video in the description for this reading. So let's get started. I pulled 3 cards for you for this month. And they are the 8 of Pentacles in the back, and then we have the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. So we have some different elements at work here. The first overall message that I'm getting is that you are busy and hard at work. I'm getting that from the 8 of Pentacles. And this is something that is good for you and will definitely bring you stability if it hasn't already. However, the underlying message is that you're on the verge of something else. And this is actually reminding me a little bit of the reading for Cancer for this month. So I wonder if some of you have Cancer as your rising sign, or if there's some sort of other Cancer influence in your life, possibly someone close to you. Either way, you may want to watch that video because there's some interesting information in that. And it is very similar. It is the sign before yours too, so it could just be that there's some similar things at play for you too going on this month. So the underlying message is that, again, there's something more. You're on the verge of something more. So it's good to be grounded and be hard at work and to be developing that stability. But I'm seeing both in the arch with the sky behind this figure, and then also really with both of these cards, that you are just about to receive some sort of new inspiration that can bring you emotional and spiritual fulfillment. So I'm not sure who this is speaking to directly, but I feel like some of you recently may have been questioning your spiritual beliefs or considering maybe delving into that side of yourself a little bit more. And you are basically right at the stage before this big influx of spiritual and emotional fulfillment can happen. So I would definitely encourage you to ride that wave. With this 8 of Cups character, again, we see this satisfaction of being kept busy and receiving rewards for that. However, that really is just the basis for your stability, because what really will make you feel more like yourself and give you true strength is traveling to those higher realms and helping to develop more what your soul wants you to do is kind of the message I'm getting. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the work you're doing isn't fulfilling. I'm not seeing that. But for some of you that may be the case. It may be that you're a little bit bored. For some of you, you may enjoy what you're doing and you may continue to do it. However, I do see that in other aspects of your life, or maybe as like a side thing, that going into this spirituality or inspiration, for some of you, it may not necessarily look like learning more about your spirituality or meditating more. You may not be physically actually doing that or getting into that. It may just be that you are doing something else on the side that gives you a little bit more soul fulfillment, or is just more creative or inspired in that sense. So something that evokes a little bit more emotion and a little bit more inspiration. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be spirituality. I'm also seeing the 2 9s together as, well, really supporting each other and working together. So that's just confirmation that going into something more creative for some of you could really give you that emotional satisfaction that you may be needing. It's something that could be lacking with the Eight of Pentacles. Again, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that you feel bad or unfulfilled, but that maybe some element is missing. And quite literally, there are some elements missing, because while that's grounding, you're not getting so much of this water or fire. I'm also picking up something 99, like the 99 names of God. So there may be some Muslim viewers. This may be either part of maybe your faith, or it may be part of your background. You may consider it as an ethnic thing, but for whatever reason, I'm picking that up. So that may be speaking to one of you, and it's confirmation that you are on the right path, and that like possibly doing something else for work or for other inspiration is not necessarily going away from that path. And it's interesting too, because I'm seeing this this pointed arch, which originated in Islamic architecture as well, as confirmation that your religious background is supportive of you regardless, and both in work and other spiritual things that you do. I feel like that's a message that I'm getting here. And then I believe that the pointed arch is also something that helped to build more buildings that could create more support. So I think like they were able to build higher ceilings with this type of arch. And that is something that also symbolically really reminds me of expanding your spirituality, lifting up your vibration. And so for some of you, actually, the work that you're doing may be creating that in some way, because I'm seeing that happening behind this person, almost unbeknownst to them. So it could actually be the work that you're doing leading you to that. So for some of you, it may not be that you need to go away from that or find it elsewhere, but it could be that it comes to you through that type of work, almost through that arch, like through that window. Okay, so let me see what else I'm picking up on. So in terms of relationships, I feel like I'm seeing these two men. So for some of you, there could be a male-male relationship, possibly with a water sign and a fire sign. And I feel like one of those people is, and again, this could not necessarily be a water sign and fire sign. For some of you, it could be aspects of you. One of the people, and it doesn't have to be two men. I think that's going to be true for some of you. But I do see a couple, and I am picking up romantic energy. And I am picking up that one is either a water sign on the left there, or one is more emotional or open with their emotions, and the other one has this creative mind, maybe doing something really artistic, but is a little bit more closed off with their emotions, even though they are really artistic and expressive in some ways. So your openness and expression is something that has brought you together or brought you together in the past. But I feel like there may be an issue with this figure on the right. So this could be you, Leo, as a fire sign, or it could be the other person. So this may work different ways for different viewers. But the person on the right, although they are very artistic and maybe even doing that for work, music, I'm picking up songwriting or writing in general, or even painting, and that they're really expressive in that way. And it's something that brought these two together because of how open and kind of creative they are. But that the person on the right is holding back in expressing their emotions fully to this other person. So I feel like the love is there. I'm really picking up a strong bond and a lot of romantic energy, really nice, romantic, warm, comforting romantic energy. But there is this issue. So I do think it's something that you can work through because the love really is there. But I feel like the figure on the right has to open up a little bit more, and the figure on the left maybe, I wouldn't say hold back, but maybe allow a little bit more. So just kind of let the person know what they have to offer and how they feel, but maybe not be so in their face about it. Definitely not be forceful. Just kind of be open and accepting and allowing of the other person to come forward in their time. But it would require that other person to really open up a bit more. So just to reframe it a little bit, I don't want to put all the onus on the person on the right, because I'm getting that it really is both of them. So one that needs to be a little bit less aggressive, and the other one a little bit more aggressive. And this could also be something going on for two people who haven't gotten together yet, and this could be the reason that they haven't gotten together, that just the timing hasn't been right and the energy's not quite playing out right, because one being a little too forceful, the other not quite being ready or coming forward enough. And I do feel like the energy is there for the timing to be right sometime this month, or possibly this year, sometime this year. This could be something that plays out in September. I'm picking that up from the number 9. But I'm also getting the balancing energy of the two 9s together, in the sense that these two really do balance each other out. So the two of you really are a good pair. It is something, though, that could be a missed opportunity if if things don't stay in balance. So there's work. Okay, I'm getting that message. Work is something that could come between you. So be really careful to make sure that you're balancing that as well. Balance your work with either the time spent with this other person, or in planning on pursuing this other person. Try to balance those things out. Don't get too focused on the romance and away from your work. And don't get too focused on your work and not give enough time to the relationship, or to pursuing this other person, or building it, because balance is going to be a really important thing. And that could be something, work could be something that comes in the way and causes a missed opportunity. But more importantly, is the balancing this kind of fiery drive with this watery emotion. And water and fire together can be tricky, but that doesn't mean that they don't complement each other well. I feel like you two have a really strong soul connection and do complement each other. But because of the elements at play, and because of the way that you have manifested those powers, you're both very strong, it's going to require a little bit of balance. This fire needs to allow a little bit more water, and this water needs to allow a little bit more fire. So if anyone has questions about that more, I'd be happy to answer questions. If this speaks to someone directly, I'd be interested to hear. And if you're interested in a private reading, you can email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. I'm feeling a lot of heart warmth and comfort from this partnership. So I do feel like this could be a lucky thing and a really positive thing. So just try to not push, and just kind of allow for divine timing to come in as well. And that could be what's kind of coming through this window too. So it can work out. And I'll be sending good energy that it does, and that it's not a missed opportunity, because it feels pretty good to me. So thank you so much, Leo, and I will see you next month.